Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew. Intercontinental Championship match. Exactly what we thought it would be in the best way possible. Hard-hitting affair. Electricity in the building. These guys went out there and killed it. And Gunther actually emerging victorious, still the Intercontinental Champion. I really thought Sheamus would win and retain the title. Unfortunately, he did not. Hopefully, he can still come out of this and win the championship at some point down the road. I'm not sure how likely that is at this point, especially with Vince being back in charge, but that would be the right story to tell. Honestly, at this point, so the match was amazing. Oh, actually, I'll get to my question afterward. Let me ask you your thoughts on the match first. What did you think of it?
No, I thought the match was really good. I mean, exactly what I expected it was going to be. So, but it doesn't mean that's a bad thing. I thought it was a really good match. Shocked as hell Gunther won. I mean, I literally talked to people over the weekend. They were like, "Oh, Sheamus going to win. Drew's going to win." Not one person even had a sniff thought that Gunther was going to win. So, I'm actually kind of glad he retained. I mean,
he's had a hell of a run. Yeah,
he's had an amazing run. I wouldn't have been mad if Sheamus won, but I also didn't care. I wasn't mad that he won. So, great match. Just a little shocked that Gunther won. I think everyone was.
It gave me WrestleMania 24 vibes when Orton beat Cena and Triple H, or when at WrestleMania 32 when Charlotte beat Sasha and Becky. When no one expects them to retain it, kind of the same thing. So here's what I was going to say. I was fine with. I think Gunther's had an amazing run. I have no issue with him retaining, because honestly, I would have been fine with any of these guys winning. Drew's great too, and Drew hasn't won a meaningful match at Mania in years, and he did it 36. He beat Corbin last year. Who cares? He beat Brock for the title 3 years ago in front of no one. He really hasn't had his WrestleMania moment. Let's be honest. This could have been it. He lost to. We'll get to Drew in a moment, but with Sheamus needs to be the one that beats Gunther, and shockingly, he's kind of the more throwaway of the two. As in Drew's the bigger star than Sheamus, so it would have been very easy for them to have Sheamus get beat, but he did not. Drew got beat. So I'm perfectly fine with him not winning here under two conditions. One, if Sheamus wins it either at Money in the Bank in London, or they just wait until after Gunther breaks the record. If Gunther doesn't break the record at this point, which he's not going to break it for another 5 or 6 months, but I mean, you can have him hold the championship till then I really feel like Sheamus should have won it here. If Sheamus ended up winning it in fucking Puerto Rico, then I'm not interested. I really think you should have either won it here or in London or after he breaks the record. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Drew also reportedly may be on his way out of the company. PW Insider said a couple of days ago that they are currently, his deal is up this year, maybe not necessarily soon, but it's up this year. And apparently, per PW Insider, they're not remotely close to coming to terms on a new deal. Now, that shocked me. Drew strikes me as the ultimate WWE guy. I'm not really sure why he would want to go anywhere else. Could he go to AEW and get a sweet-ass, deal? For sure, absolutely. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, he hasn't been world champion in a few years. He's been prominently featured. He's all over the shows. He's never really not on the shows. He hasn't been doing a whole lot since he lost the championships, but I mean, he had the Corbin feud. He's been involved in the Intercontinental Championship stuff. He had the high-profile match with Roman Reigns, a Clash at the Castle. So it's not like he's not on the show. I would think that AJ Styles or someone like that is more upset than fucking Drew is. Drew almost never gets beat. But Drew might be on his way out. I think ultimately he stays, but I was a little surprised that ends up that's currently the case with him not already having signed a new deal.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised when I saw it too, but it all really depends on what he's looking for. I mean, he's also it's going to be in his 38th end of the year. I mean, maybe he is looking for more of a Roman-esque schedule, a little less dates, and maybe they're not willing to offer him that yet. But I mean, I'd be pretty shocked if he left.
Yeah,
I mean, his career was rejuvenated in TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call it, but I mean, he definitely got back on the map when he went back to WWE. Like you said, was the star of the pandemic. I mean, really got him to being like a top guy again. So I would be a little bit surprised if he didn't stay.
And he feels like a top guy. It's not one of those guys where they win the championship and then they go back to being a mid-carder. Is he a mid-carder? I mean, I guess, but he to me feels like a step above, like Kofi Kingston won the belt, lost it, and then he was never at that level. Liv Morgan won the belt, lost it, and was never at that level again. Drew, I mean, if you listen to his reactions and stuff he's been involved in, he always has direction for the most part. It feels like he always has something going on. And he feels like a main eventer. He does not feel like, I belong at the Intercontinental United States title level forever. Like, he feels like a main eventer to me, which is why that Roman match felt special back at Clash because he belonged in that spot. And in retrospect, it was kind of dumb that he won if Roman was going to be Cody, but whatever. We'll get to that momentarily. I don't know. We'll see what his future holds. I don't think he goes anywhere, but I guess we'll find out at the end of the year.